This Valentine's Day weekend, you can experience Christopher Stoll's The Sleeping Beauty at Oregon Ballet Theater. Set to Tchaikovsky's enchanting score, this fairy tale ballet is a visual feast of dancing, sumptuous sets, and opulent costumes. All performances feature live music performed by the Oregon Ballet Theater Orchestra. The show runs February 13th through the 21st. Get your tickets now at obt.org. That's obt.org. Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about a drug market that moved into a North Portland affordable housing complex, as well as yet another surplus of unspent funds found in the Portland Housing Bureau's budget, this time amounting to $15 million. Plus, a local psychiatrist's connection to the Epstein files, the Lake Oswego marquee that upset Jeff Bezos, and so much more. Joining me on this week's Friday News Roundup are Willamette Week reporter and author Brianna Wheeler and our very own senior producer Julia Fiaioni. It's Friday, February 6th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Welcome, everyone, to the Friday News Roundup. Brianna, Julia, thank you for joining me this morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
It's been a while, Brianna. I love the new hair. I think I told you on Instagram, too.
Thank you.
The braids are braiding.
Yes.
Looks good.
It's cold out here, and I don't have to want to put on a hat every day, so I wove the hat into my head hair, and now my head is warm. Oh, can't recommend it enough.
That is a hack.
Yeah. And I don't got to wash or comb my hair. Well, I do have to wash it. Just not as frequently.
Triple hack.
I love it. You're like, I take that back. Please don't email me.
I don't stink. I swear.
Today is the day we break down some of the biggest local stories of the week with some of the best and brightest journalists in town. But before we jump into the news, I usually ask an opening question so any new listeners out there can get to know us all a little better, though I'm sure you all just got to know Brianna a little better. And today's opening question is inspired by our Tuesday show when we talked with event planner extraordinaire and friend of the show, Amy Theberg, about why we should all take a day trip out to Oregon City. She laid out some of the must-dos, like which shops to check out, places to eat, viewpoints that overlook beautiful things like the Willamette Falls. It was lovely, and it made me wonder if there were other overlooked little towns just like 30 minutes to an hour away that we should be checking out. So my question to you both is, do you have any spots you think our listeners should go explore because you've been there, or maybe you want to go there and you're hoping to hit it up? And we all know about Bend, Astoria, and Cannon Beach. I want to hear about the B-sides. So you're like, oh, I've got a place for you. It's called Bend.
Okay, y'all. Have you ever been to Long Beach, Washington?
Oh, that's a good
Hell
one. Yes.
It is one of my favorite places in this area. It's just north of Astoria.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in Astoria, you can actually take the bus there. I honestly wouldn't recommend doing that.
Okay.
But I did do a car-free trip to Astoria, and that's how that happened. And that's how I learned that town is so small that you can call the bus driver to pick you up from the bus stop when it's not showing up on the regular schedule. This all happened from one of the locals there walking past the stop and being like, girl, they're not coming here. You can call this number. This is all to say it's a really charming beach town. It's not overrun with tourists in the same way that other beach towns are. It's just really sweet. And it does feel like close-knit in that way.
Oh my God. I got to double down on that.
Yeah.
I've ridden horses there because you can rent horses and ride along the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I took my partner because that was her Christmas wish. She did it for her birthday. But you know what I mean? She was just like, I want a horse.
Yeah.
The irony is they gave her the slowest horse. It's a whole thing. That story is hilarious. Her horse kept stopping every 30 seconds to poop and pee.
Oh, no.
We still talk about Sophie. We're like, oh, little Sophie.
Little Sophie. I love Long Beach also. And I also did the car-free trip to Astoria once. Just a little sidebar.
Oh, nice.
Jumped on the bus. It was the middle of summer. Their air conditioning was broken. They didn't want to open any of the windows. We all almost died on the way to Astoria.
No.
Yes. I was sitting in the back of the bus pouring water on my head just to
Why would they open the windows?
They couldn't open the windows. They did.
Oh, they
it was against
couldn't.
the law to do that. There was a bus stop,
So
because, it's like the bus runs out to Astoria, so there are stops.
Yeah.
We got to a stop,
Yeah.
opened the doors, a man walked on the bus and said, "Oh, hell no," walked right back off.
That's hilarious.
So, okay, but that's not, I love Long Beach, love Astoria, da-da-da-da. My town that I want to shout out, it's actually two towns, and they are like slightly connected. One's in Washington, one's in Oregon. It's Clatskanie and Cathlamet. And they're two teensy tiny towns, and they are on the way to Astoria in Long Beach. So here's the deal, though. You drive up to Clatskanie, and you catch a ferry. A little tiny 10, 15-minute long ferry takes you across the river over to the Washington side, or vice versa. And then you finish your trip. You take the 25 miles to Astoria. But these teensy little towns, so quaint, cute, one little main street, 25 houses, no supermarket, maybe a bar. But riding the ferry only carries maybe 8 to 10 cars. And you can get out and you can walk around. And it's a very short ferry ride, but it is the most sweeping landscapes. I mean, you can imagine that whole area is
I'm
breathtaking.
dying.
Yeah, and it costs $6. Takes $6 to ride the ferry.
$6.
That's it.
Like, not with your car, like as a person, right? You walk on $6 or like with your car.
I think you can walk on for like $1. For your car, it's $6.
What?
Oh my God. That's so cheap.
Claudia's
I know, right?
dying right now.
Oh, wow. That is such a good call. Thank you. I
Yeah.
am like putting that on my weekend trip. That
It's so
looks
easy.
amazing.
So easy, so fun. Definitely check the ferry times before you like head out there, though, because I went out just last weekend with a homie. We missed the ferry by 10 minutes, both times.
No.
Oh, I wanted to punch something.
Oh no, that's terrible. Okay. Well, mine may not be as exotic as
As Long Beach, Washington.
as Long Beach, Washington, and Clatskanie and its ferry. I recently took a day trip out to McMinnville where I was car shopping, and I need to go back and explore. The town is so cute. It has so many wineries and a growing food scene. Plus, it was just like a beautiful drive out there. And usually for me, it's a pit stop to more wine. But now I'm actually going to pull over and be like, wait, hold up, McMinnville, what's going on here? Like, I want to walk around. I want to learn. So that's I want to go to there, even though I've been to there, but I want to go again to there with more time.
I've heard
Yeah.
great things about McMinnville. I've never been.
Well, they have the UFO festival there, don't they?
Yes. But I just feel like I don't hear enough people saying, I'm off to McMinnville.
Oh, yeah.
as I hear like, I'm going to Astoria, or like, I'll see you later, I'm going to Cannon Beach,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Thank you for your suggestions. Lovely. On to the news of the week. Rihanna, you're kicking us off.
All right, let's do this. I am going to be recapping Sophie Peel's big piece for Willamette Week. A drug market moves into a home-forward apartment building. Strap in, y'all. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do just a real quick throwback. Everybody remembers when Measure 110 went into effect, 2021. Dawson Park became this huge talking point that's already in North Portland's like embattled Albina neighborhood. It becomes this egregious open-air drug market, prostitution market, just like a general vice market is happening in broad daylight at Dawson Park. A series of crackdowns occur, but this whole market is kind of buttressed by this corner bodega, this little corner store, and this market is kind of like supporting what's going on at the park.
Yeah, because that guy got arrested, right?
Put a pin in that. We're
Yeah.
coming back to that. So that drug market was thriving. And then, like you said recently, that market got closed down, and that entire drug market that was in the park just took a couple of steps and set up shop in Dawson Park apartments. All right. Wild.
What?
So Sophie Peel, my love, sat down with 3 residents of the apartments. She reviewed hundreds of pages of public record. She performed dozens of interviews. And what comes out is that Home Forward, which, if in case you don't know, it's the state's largest affordable housing provider. It's got 6,800 units. They had loosened their screening policies in the recent years around who they let into their buildings and who they kick out. So fiercely have they changed these policies that a drug market was easily able to walk on in, set up shop. Right. So a lot of that drug activity, according to the 3 tenants that Sophie interviewed and others that spoke up at a recent church forum, a lot of that drug activity was spurred by that little mini market that I referred to. It's Stop and Go Mini Mart. Right. So until last spring, dude named Donald Sharma ran that store. That fool was indicted last year on charges, get into it, delivering cocaine, heroin, fent. right? So that arrest is huge, and it removes a major source of neighborhood trouble. It like removes
Right.
the clubhouse. However, you can't really do that. There's always going to be a secondary effect. It's always the pendulum's always going to swing back. So of course, all of the dealers, they just migrated one block north to the apartment building that had like no protections. And the tenants are saying
Poor tenants.
they said Home
too.
Forward, they're not doing anything. They didn't do anything to keep this from happening. All right. So of course a spokesman. And here comes a spokesman from Home Forward. Oh, he's going to make it better. Or she. I'm not sure what the gender is here, but Riley Onen says the agency takes residents, quote unquote, very seriously. And in response, they hired, get into it, 2 whole desk monitors who work from 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. every day. And
Or 7
And-
a.m. to 3 p.m. Or like
Or
they're
they're
overnight.
they're overnights. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now they've got a
Okay.
security company doing nightly sweeps of the hallways and the exterior,
Okay.
and they are considering erecting a fence. Okay, so
A
you know, thoughts are being thought, words are being said. But let's talk about the records. Let's talk about what's really going on. Records provided by the Portland Bureau of Emergency Communications show that since November of 2024, dispatchers have received, take one deep breath in, 295 calls from the Dawson Park apartments. Okay, and these are not like,
Oh, man.
oh, I'm a little sketched out because of ... No. We're talking about assault, domestic violence. We are talking about kind of like the zombie walkers. We're talking about death investigations, harassment, drugs, liquor,
Whoa.
prostitutions, robbery, theft. Whew, wild. And the timing of the drug market penetrating the building, it dovetails with these policy changes at Home Forward. Home Forward has loosened its screening of tenants. It raises the threshold of back rent that had to be owed before eviction. They make all these screening changes, and they do it in the name of racial justice. And they're citing, quote, when landlords like Home Forward screen for criminal history to determine eligibility for housing, we perpetuate the racial injustices of the criminal justice system. Heard. However, I really believe that conversation is rooted in nonviolent offenses. I'm not sure that conversation we're talking about domestic violence. We're talking about violent crimes.
Out.
Right?
Basically, like, do you want this person as your neighbor should be considered. You're creating a community and you're
Exactly.
creating safety and you're creating a springboard for people to
Yeah.
get back on their feet.
Exactly.
Why would you create a hellhole for them to live in?
Exactly.
Just because you don't want to be racist.
You-
Like
that's
that
all I'm
is
saying.
oh,
That's
that is like
racist. Exactly.
Yeah, it's eating its own tail.
Exactly.
how little do you think of people of color at a certain
Stop
point?
saying.
You know, like, I'm sorry, but white liberal racism is insane
It
because
is.
it just eats itself.
It
Where you're just
is.
like, do you get that
Mhm.
you're like dehumanizing and infantilizing people at a certain point? Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spun. I'm
No,
back.
No, don't
I love it.
apologize.
Usually, well, here, let's get back to me yelling.
Yeah. I'm tagging you back in. You're like, from the top row.
Yeah, here we go. All right. So they're not going to deny an applicant with an arson conviction in the past 10 years. They would consider that conviction a problem if it had occurred in the last 3 years. Make that shit make sense. Okay. Convictions for financial fraud, theft, identity theft, or like misdemeanor drug possession, those kind of like nonviolent offenses that I was talking about, not considered at all. Love that. Shouldn't. I mean, I guess kind of, but if we're talking about creating a safe space for people to like raise their kids, have their grandchildren come and
Yeah.
visit, let's be talking about arsonists and rapists not being allowed in this space. I'm not really.
Pedos. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Just come on.
So court records show that some of the tenants arrested and convicted in recent months, they would never have been allowed to rent apartments at Dawson Park without like significant hurdles under the old policy. But with the new policy, oh, come on over, come on in here. So for instance, Tony, not his real name, this dude was convicted in 2020 of delivery of meth. He spent 18 months in the Fed, moved into Dawson in 2024 under that new policy, that meth conviction, irrelevant. He was dealing meth, right? Almost immediately, tenants are like, yo, Tony's gotta go. He's dealing out of this place regularly.
Yeah.
He is threatening us for talking about it. Tony has to go. Nobody
Oh, man.
pays them dust. Tony continues to fuck off. Until last year, when Milwaukee's police,
Oh my God.
find Tony in the driver's seat of his truck, passed out, fucked up, crashed into a utility pole, bunch of meth and Glock in the car. Yes, he pled guilty.
Jeez.
Yes, he is back in federal custody. Ah! Okay, this is the rub. This is how we're going to wrap it up. This is what ties it all up into a nice little neat little bow. We don't even know if Home Forward could do anything if they wanted to, because they're broke as hell. The agency just recently disclosed that it faced a $35 million budget shortfall. Data provided shows that 23 of the 38 buildings have required debt service coverage. And as of September 25, they have failed to meet this debt service ratio. So the ratio required, 1-to-1. The ratio that they've got, 0.12. It's well below the required 1.15. So we can have these discussions, talk about it, get it out in the air. But whether or not anything can actually be done now really remains like the big question. What can they do?
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Yeah. Affordable housing needs to stop ghettoizing groups because that
Thank
is
you.
what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of the word ghettoizing, it is the literal definition of that word where you're segregating groups of people just because. And that is what's happening. And it's to the detriment of that group of people.
Yep.
We all know that affordable housing only works when there is mixed incomes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this. You can't just go, put them all in one section.
Yep,
Because
yep.
immediately you're just saying, I don't see the humanity in any single person there.
Right. Yeah. And so you've got grandmothers, grandfathers
Yeah.
that are like, I'm just trying to live. I have a beautiful home that I worked really hard for, that I keep. I care about this neighborhood. I'm 4th generation this neighborhood. And this is what I get to, this is how I'm treated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to do violence for them.
I want
And if I did, I would probably still be able to get a fucking apartment at the Dawson Park Apartments.
Oh, no.
Brianna. You know what's interesting is there was a group of well-meaning people that were just like, we need to reclaim Dawson Park. Because the other thing is that when you read anybody talking shit about Dawson Park, the neighborhood comes in and goes, hey, that's our park.
Fully.
Like, we live there.
Yeah.
Stop saying it's
Mhm.
dangerous, even though we all know it's dangerous. But do you know what I mean? It's like this like push and pull with that neighborhood where they're like,
Yeah.
help us, but stop shitting on us.
Shitting on us does not help.
Yeah, it's not helping. Because seriously, the more people that hang out at that park that aren't drug dealers, the less drug dealers. That's how that works. You
Mhm.
know?
Totally.
So I've had friends who just like literally make a point of like, I'm going to eat my lunch there.
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about Dawson Park. Like, we need to like, in a weird way, I'm like, they're like, we need to culturally gentrify this fucking park, which is unfortunate for them. That's their thinking of
Yeah.
like, and that's how we'll get police to look at us. Look at our white faces. We're here. Take care of us.
Yeah.
And that is all fucked up. Everything's fucked up. I'm
Everything's
just like,
fucked
up.
you know, just what is happening?
This is the worst timeline.
And because literally
terrible.
three blocks down is a New Seasons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh my God.
Yeah. And the thing that really kills me is that the fact that the solution right now from the people who are running the building is to have front desk people and folks watching the hallways is ridiculous, because that's usually a tactic you would have to make sure that people who are not living inside the building don't come in and disrupt the tenants. But you've already invited the people who are the problem into the building.
Yeah.
So what will the security be used for exactly?
Right.
It is like not actually a solution to anything, which is really frustrating for the people who are living there trying to make it their home. And it's just really unfair.
Well, I guess we're going to have Sophie on because you know she's going to keep looking in. You know our Sophie Peel. She's going to
Oh,
get in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, we're going to keep talking about this.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, more headlines of the week. Pivot Portland Management wants to remind you that the Winter Light Festival is coming back to downtown February 6th through the 14th, and it's absolutely free. If you've not been, you gotta go check it out, at least once. It's a citywide celebration of public art, creativity, and community. And this year, some incredible artists will be featured in a few of Pivot Properties buildings. If you head over to pdxwlf.com, you'll find a map of all the light installations on view. Like last year, there was a massive actual fire-breathing dragon sculpture near the waterfront. It was such a spectacle. Pivot is a big supporter of our downtown district and its vibrant community, and they encourage you to explore all it has to offer. So bundle up, head downtown, and experience the Portland Winter Light Festival. You can learn more about Pivot at pivotportland.com. That's pivotportland.com.
CityCast Portland is brought to you by pdxhomeloan.com. Local lender James Adair has been doing residential mortgages for over 20 years. He'll work with you to set the strategy, explain the process, and ensure you maximize the return on your real estate investment. He's also a certified liability advisor, so if you're looking for a way to recover financially from the holidays, he can help optimize paying off your debt using options like a second mortgage to consolidate non-mortgage debts. Take advantage of a strategic conversation to find out if you could pay off those holiday bills much quicker than you imagined. Visit pdxhomeloan.com to access the calendar and book your free strategy call with local lender James Adair, serving Oregon, Washington, and California buyers. James Adair, NMLS 232766 with Better Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 330511, and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, Julia, keep disappointing us.
Oh my God. I think I can carry this baton. So my segment comes from some reporting by our friends Jeremiah Hayden from the Portland Mercury and Shane Dixon Kavanaugh and Jonathan Bach at the Oregonian. And they're talking about how this week the Portland Housing Bureau found at least another $15 million in unspent funds. And just to back up for a second, this was after just a few months ago when the Bureau came forward with $21 million of unspent funds. So keeping in mind that this is money that could have been spent on things like housing and rent assistance and eviction legal support for Portlanders right now, this is a huge deal. And not only that, but this situation was also tied up in the resignation of former Housing Bureau Director Helmi Hisrich back in November of last year when the unspent funds were made public. But the story there is still split between who knew what when and whether or not the resignation is even related, depending on who you ask. We've talked about that a lot already, so I'm not going to get into it too much further. But regarding the newly revealed $15 million, the timing is really interesting because the information just came out before a city council meeting on Wednesday this week that was set to vote on a resolution to investigate city administration over the previous $21 million in hidden funds, which it ended up passing. So that means our city administrator, Raymond Lee, who was just brought on at the start of the year, has to turn over any documents and information related to the incident from a few months ago so that city council members can conduct an investigation themselves and hold an oversight hearing to figure out how this happened to avoid it happening again for a third time. So just to recap, the Housing Bureau has found in total nearly $40 million in unspent funds just in the last few months, and the council is just now moving to investigate what happened with only the first $21 million of it. I'm going to pause right here before I get into where this money is channeling through. How are we feeling about this? I have to know.
Bemused.
Bemused is a great word, Brianna.
How?
As Jamie Dunphy was quoted saying, it's inexcusable. This is no way to run a city.
Yeah. And that's newly elected council president Jamie Dunphy, right? He's
reluctantly.
Poor guy's walking into a whole
poor everyone, I gotta tell you. Like I'm like the council is just now kind of recovering from electing Jamie Dunphy as their council president because, it was contentious.
Totally.
Everyone's feelings got hurt. People were, in my head, I'm like, people went home and cried. There's no way that didn't happen because I know I would have.
Yeah.
They're still crying, honestly.
Yeah. Like terrible. We have a new city administrator, Raymond Lee, who is just like, what?
Oh, yeah. He looked a little sweaty in the council meeting yesterday. Just got to say, just on the dome, just an appropriate amount of sweat. But so I'm going to talk a little more about where exactly the money is coming from within the Bureau. So the $21 million was sitting in the city's rental services office, which basically just accumulated from service fees paid by landlords. And the newly found money came from two places, about $5 million of taxes paid by hotels and booking agents, and about $10 million worth of short-term rental fees from things like Airbnb. when it comes to the transient lodging tax, some funds could already be earmarked for other projects, so it might not result in anything. And with the short-term rental fees, City Code only allows the money to be spent on projects to fund affordable housing and homelessness initiatives, so there are some limitations to that spending, according to Council President Dunphy and Portland Mercury.
Right.
And regarding the $21 million from a few months ago, there's also a vote happening today, Thursday afternoon, that will decide how it will be spent. Some councilors want to put it forward, all $21 million forward toward rent assistance, while others want to give more than 25% of it to Prosper Portland for a 230-unit housing project that really needs it, apparently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have any updates on that vote right now because they'll be voting this afternoon. But if we do have anything significant, we'll just throw it at the end of the episode. So make sure you listen to the end. So if you don't hear anything, nothing's changed. But all that being said, it's an interesting situation we found ourselves in as a city, considering how we're just strapped for cash, and we specifically are struggling to find enough money to make any sort of impact on our housing crisis. And I think that's really starting to weigh on our counselors, and a lot of them have very different takes on how this should all be handled. So, for example, in Wednesday's vote to talk about how the $21 million of unspent funds should be investigated, Councilor Murillo and Councilor Pertolgini went head-to-head about whether it should be City Council investigating itself, basically just getting all the documents from the city administrator and doing the investigation internally, or if they should hire an outside person, pay them to do the investigation. It ended up being that Pertolgini was on the side of hiring the outside service, but the vote led to council just doing the investigation themselves. I am really curious how effective this will be.
Yeah.
Not because it's not within their right of what they were voted to do. It's actually something that they have the power to do. I just feel like they're already so busy.
Yeah.
And I
know.
wonder why it doesn't make sense just to hire somebody from the outside.
They should hire
Gotta
somebody.
hire somebody else. Have they not proven that they can't?
That's it. That's all you got to say.
And that's the thing, right? There are arguments for doing the investigation internally because it tends to slow down when you have to go through the process of looking for the right people to investigate it and getting it approved. So I think it's an effort to get things to move a little bit quicker so that when it comes around for a vote on any housing spending package moving forward, they'll have all the information that they need to make the right vote. And they'll know what they're working with, right?
Yeah.
Right now, they're feeling like, well, hey, maybe there's even more millions of dollars that we're unaware of that we would want to factor into this conversation. But luckily, Councilor Dunphy did say that he would delay a vote on any housing spending package moving forward until he's feeling confident that they know what they're working with. But in the meantime, it sounds like a whole lot of work that they're up against in order to resolve this. And that's, again, only speaking about the first 21 million. There
Not
hasn't
even
been
15, yeah.
any decision made on this 15 million. And they're still trying to figure out if it is only 15 million
Oh my
too,
God.
right?
Oh my
It could
God.
be more
Oh,
than
it's
that.
totally more. It's
Yeah.
totally more.
Right?
And here's the deal. I do think our city council is functional to a certain point. It's just that it's so brand new. They're still figuring things out. To me, I'm just like, stop putting stuff on your plate. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want people to listen and think that like I have zero confidence or that we're shit talking the council. They have a very tough job. They're doing their best. It
Mhm.
really is just like, y'all cannot do more.
Mhm.
You need to do less, actually.
Yeah.
And like and figure out how to properly govern with 12 people.
Right.
It's just a lot.
And it's a great point too, right? There are some conversations talking about how these issues may be tied to the previous form of government, that the system was so siloed that,
Mhm.
of course, we're losing track of how money is being spent or if it's even being spent at all. So it feels like a little bit of a recovery period while, like you're saying, Claudia, we're still in the process of figuring out how to even work with each other. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of working against each other in a really unfortunate way. But yeah.
We will be keeping an eye on that. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, more headlines of the week. Okay, so for my story, we're doing a good old-fashioned microdose of news because we just had way too many things we wanted to tell you that happened this week and wouldn't be able to fit them all in today's show otherwise. So in order to do that, I'm going to give you 3 headlines in under 3 minutes. That's the goal. Julia, do you want to time me and tell me if I nailed it after each one?
Yeah, I can. Give me
Okay.
1 second.
Also, I will be breaking in between each headline because I just need to hear what you guys think about it. I'm actually dying to hear what you guys think about each one. For the first headline, it's coming from the Lake Oswego Review and the internets because it was up everywhere on my feed a few days ago. Ready when you are, Julia.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Lake Theater and Cafe in Lake Oswego announced that it will no longer show Melania, the Amazon Studios documentary about the First Lady, after Amazon revoked the theater's rights to the film because of their humorous and seemingly disrespectful marquee messages promoting their screenings, which included, "Does Melania wear Prada? Find out Friday. And to defeat your enemy, you must know them. Melania." According to the theater general manager, Jordan Perry, he was mostly showing the film to fill a hole in his programming and to be funny. The marquee now reads, "Amazon called. Our marquee made them mad. All Melania shows canceled. Show your support at Whole Foods instead."
Oh.
Frowny face.
Oh,
Genius.
Done.
Genius.
you did that in 47 seconds. Nice
Hey.
work. Yeah, this is so embarrassing.
It's so silly. In a blog post, Jordan Perry, the manager, wrote, "I mean, it just seems so weird that it even exists. Who wants a movie about Melania? Lol."
That's what I'm saying.
And wouldn't it be exponentially weirder to the point of being funny to show it here at your obviously anti-establishment, occasionally troublemaking neighborhood cinema?
Totally.
People were like, why are you... People were mad all over. People were just like, why are you showing this? Amazon's like, why are you trashing our movie? And he's just like, funny, ha.
For the plot. Yo.
This is where my mind went on this one. Do you guys know like the conspiracy that a lot of the times when Melania is shown on TV with Trump, it's not actually her, it's just like a body double?
Oh, yeah.
No.
So I wonder if it's actually even her in the film the entire time too. I haven't seen it. I don't plan on seeing it, but in my mind I'm like, is it also just multiple versions of Melania because she doesn't even want to be
In the movie.
around to
Even in the
film
movie.
the movie?
Wow.
It should have been Melania, question mark.
Yes.
All right. My second headline is from Andrew Shorts at the Willamette Week. Ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
A Portlander's name was found in the Epstein files.
Oh.
Dr. Paul Conti, a nationally prominent psychiatrist and consultant with a private practice in Southwest Portland, was found to be in correspondence with sex criminal Jeffrey Epstein from 2015 to 2017. In a 2015 email exchange, Conti thanks Epstein for his hospitality, writing, "I found the time spent with you to be enjoyable and fascinating. I welcome helping your friend if I can. Would you like to set something up through assistance or let me know a few days, times that would work for you?" Basically, the files released and redacted gave no indication that Conti did anything beyond socializing with Epstein and taking sizable payments from Epstein to provide psychiatric help to a woman associated with Epstein. In the files, context-wise, it was revealed she was still in college.
Oh, great.
In response to the article, Conti commented, "I met a woman in high levels of distress through Mr. Epstein. I became her doctor in 2015, approaching her through the lens of trauma and empowerment. Mr. Epstein stopped paying for her care, and I've treated her pro bono across the years. I'm still her doctor today and ask that her privacy be respected. I would have welcomed the opportunity to be helpful to others as well." What a saint.
Oh, man.
Where's my fucking pitchfork? Where is my pitchfork?
Oh, God.
Let's go, girls.
That was minute 25, but there's lots to say about this one.
What I found creepy, especially, was that these two men were talking about the mental state and health of this young woman
Yeah.
who Epstein had described as tiny, like they were her keepers. And then finding out she was still in college was so, it just felt icky. Also, it was very clear in the email exchanges that Conti was trying really hard to buddy up to Epstein.
Yeah.
Like after every,
yeah.
just kept mentioning, "So anyhow, I'm free whenever." You know what I mean? Like, I love to hang out.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me, but if you need any help with anything, what?
Help with anything? What are you doing?
What? I'm sorry. Anything Epstein related makes me immediately nauseous. Like chills down the spine, just bad, bad, bad.
Because it's still supported.
Yeah.
We still have our president.
Yeah.
Who's in the fucking files. Okay, anyhow. So
Anyhow.
Anyhow, we don't want to cry right now. He also like recounts the sessions with the woman post, which I'm like, isn't that a HIPAA
that's
violation?
super against the law.
Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? All right. And just so you guys know, this guy, Conti, like, he has rave reviews by Kim Kardashian and Tommy Hilfiger for his book, Trauma, The Invisible Epidemic.
I'm sorry,
which
those
is-
are not the endorsements that he thinks they are.
Yeah. All right. Ready for my third headline?
I'm ready.
So my third headline is from Shane Dixon Kavanaugh at the Oregonian. This is more of an update from our midweek roundup when we had Portland Mercury reporter Jeremiah Hayden on to talk about the protests this past weekend. I'm ready whenever.
3, 2, 1, go.
After this Saturday's incident at the Southwest Portland ICE facility where federal agents tear gassed and ended up launching flashbangs to peaceful protesters, which included children, people with disabilities, and the elderly, City Councilor Samir Kanal says he plans to push ahead with a proposal to ban the use of tear gas citywide. This is all while city administration officials are racing to finalize newly enacted rules that will allow the city to fine landlords of detention facilities that deploy chemical agents. I will remind us all that this nuisance provision passed by City Council happened in early December. It prohibits the detention center and property owners from allowing chemical agents or other environmental hazards that originate from the building. And the city has not employed that new ordinance because officials have yet to write the rules needed to enforce it. The provision architects, councilors Angelita Murillo and Mitch Green, have voiced their frustration with how slow the city's executive branch has been in getting their new policy enacted.
Yeah.
It is unclear if our city government can even enforce such a ban if passed. We're talking about Samir Kanal's ban and also the other one that they were working on to fine. Still, it could take up to several months for Kanal to finish crafting his proposal, which is then likely to undergo rigorous legal review.
1:25, by the way.
So just to recap, we have a provision in the docket to basically fine landlords whose tenants are gassing or basically poisoning anyone around them, you know? But then Samir Kanal's like, but what if we just ban tear gas citywide? And I would think like, yeah, that's a great idea. Because like, why do we need it? But what's interesting is the Portland Police Bureau is like, we're very concerned about this. A bureau spokesperson, Mike Benner, was quoted as saying, eliminating this option would significantly restrict PPB's ability to manage violent incidents safely, as well as manage dangerous crowd dynamics. In many cases, gas allows officers to avoid direct physical force, which, bookmark that, which can increase the likelihood of injuries to both the public and officers. I'm sorry, we were all alive in 2020, and they were beaten and gassing. They were,
Oh,
my hand right here, they were beaten and gassing.
No,
It was-
literally. One always comes with the other.
So how about you stop gassing? I would love to stop beating, but come on now. Don't tell me you don't have other options because it appears you have. They were like, we don't just use it on protesters or whatever. We haven't used this in 5 years. But the Bureau's tactical unit, known as the Special Emergency Reaction Team, occasionally uses the chemical agent during crisis negotiations and other high-risk scenarios. And the spokesperson went on to say these situations are not routine and typically involve extreme circumstances, such as armed barricaded subjects or individuals posing an immediate and serious threat to themselves. The use of these tools is carefully considered, guided by strict policy, training, and oversight, and deployed only when lesser options are ineffective or unsafe. Brianna, please go on. I know.
What?
We're literally in a settlement with the federal government because we had no strict policy, no training, and no oversight with how we were deploying tear gas. That's all I mean. So like, this is just like, why are we in this alternate universe? Here's the deal. I do support law enforcement because like when shit's happening in my neighborhood, I can't go out there and be like, hey guys, stop breaking that window, But guess what? We still need strict policy, training, and oversight. And we know that's not what's happening right now at the PPB. And that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Like our oversight board we just discussed is sinking. Yeah, it actually maybe take away the tear gas until they can figure that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How dare they say we need to use this for... They bring the big violent situations. They're coming and bringing the big violent situation and they say, well, we had to use the tear gas. There was a big violent situation. Shut the fuck up. You brought it.
Yeah. We escalated the situation and then we had to tear gas
We
them.
had to tear gas all these kids and pets. What were we going to do? These old ladies were coming at us with their walkers.
Well, that was in PPB. That was in PPB. That was the federal agents. I do just want to point that out. But I'm
my
just saying that PPB came through and was just like, wait, hold on. Only we get to tear gas Portland.
No, that's the thing, right?
God,
Is that they're
seriously.
trying to like protect their tear gas option because Border Patrol and ICE can't pull it together. Oh, that's not us. We know how to use tear gas properly. I don't think anyone knows how to use tear gas properly.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be
There's no-
used.
there's no
It
proper.
shouldn't be used.
Period. Doesn't matter. Does not matter.
Literally, the federal government told us that you don't know how to use tear gas, which is ironic because now they're using tear gas. But like, what I'm saying is the loser is us.
Just
and
put the tear gas down.
Just put the tear gas down,
Everyone.
guys. Put it down. All right. Well, you guys, I leave you with that.
This is great. This is a really uplifting episode we got going on today.
Yeah.
God. Okay, we're meeting at Dawson Park with the pitchforks. I'll be there.
Yeah. Oh my God. The irony that we get tear gas too. I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
like, that's how City Gas Portland ended. Before we head out, though, we do have some shout outs from members of our Portland Neighbors program. One of the perks of being a paying member of CityCast Portland is the opportunity to shout out a local business or organization that you love. Julia, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, I have one here from listener Monica P. And they say, Jefferson High School free food market, free for all neighbors and community members. Students and staff have their own private market. And this is for the broader community too. Fridays, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Kirby entrance to the South Field. Delicious, fresh food, including fruits and veggies, bread and pastries, and shelf-stable goods, plus some personal care items as well as some clothing and shoes. Volunteers can also come as early as 11:30 to help set up the market. That's like the only good news we've had on this show
That's
all
wonderful.
morning.
Monica
That's so
P,
good.
thank you.
Thank
Well, this is
you.
why we have this, seriously. Listener Damon J says, shout out to Case Study Coffee on Southwest 10th and Yamhill, dope baristas, cozy vibes, and views of the Max and streetcar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I
love it.
that.
Shout out to Monica and Damon, and a huge thanks to our newest member, Dr. Shabaka J. What a freaking cool name.
Shabaka
Dr.
J, let's
Shabaka J.
go.
That is a DJ name. Dr. Shabaka J. You seem to have a profession, but you could.
I know. I
You
wish we had air
could.
horns.
Like Dr. Shabaka J. Dr. Shabaka. Doctor. When you join as a Portland neighbor, we'd also be happy to read your shout outs of places you love in Portland, alongside a bunch of other perks like ad-free listening and events, which we're cooking up one right now. Join at membership.citycast.fm. You guys, Julia, Brianna, it is always a pleasure to host you. I want you and everyone listening to have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
See you on that ferry.
See ya.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. Our podcast production team this week was John Atariani, Julia Fiaioni, Laura Setsui, Adrian Gonzalez, and myself. Our newsletter editor is Rachel Monahan, and our host is me, Claudia Meza. Original music by Jenny Conley and Stephen Drizos. Additional music by All the Kimonos, as well as Sarah the Instrumentalist, Timothy Infinite, and Gregory David, courtesy of Epidemic Sound, along with Opal 99 and D-May, courtesy of Triple Scoop Music. We'll be back Monday morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.